Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the seventh in our series on the importance of Hijrah calendar system for mankind. This seventh section will deal with birthday, the significance of the remembrance of one's birthday as directed by Islam. Title: Birthday, the significance of the remembrance of one's birthday as directed by Islam. Islam teaches us that each human being has three difficult days in his or her existence. Those of you who are hearing me now have escaped the first one. That's why you're able to hear me and I'm able to talk to you. That first one is the birthday. The birthday, you are born freely, you are in the world now, you have escaped the first one, so we thank Allah for that. The second is the day of death. The day we shall die. It's going to be a difficult day, especially for those who refuse Allah's directives. The third difficult day for each human being is the day of judgment, the day of resurrection, when Allah Azza wa Jalla will bring all human beings back to life for judgment. And that judgment will be based on absolute truth of Allah. Let us state clearly that every Muslim must observe his or her birthday. The reason for this is to use the birthday program to appeal to Allah to make our death easy and to make the day of judgment easy for us. Because Allah says that those who refuse the directives of Allah, those who refuse Islam, those who refuse to follow the ways of Allah will suffer a very difficult death. That's why Allah says, وَنَازِعَتْ غَرْقًا. In Surah An-Nazi'at, chapter 79 of the Holy Quran. Let's say we shall pull the soul of the kafir, of those who refuse Allah, we shall pull their soul with difficulty, so they'll be in pain. So any person who dies a non-Muslim will be in pain from time of death. And that pain will be continuous, because after the pain of death, then you go to the grave where he'll be punished again. Then the day of judgment, it'll be a difficult day, more difficult day for him. Allah says that day you see human beings as being drunkard. Allah says that they're not drunk. It's the problem of that day that is with them. So let us bear this in mind, that we should obey Allah and follow the ways of Allah, Islam, Sirat al-Mustaqim. Allah told us that continuously. In Surah Al-Fatiha that we read 20 times every day, Allah says, Sirat al-Ladina an'amta alayhim, the path on which I have my pleasure. Nima is nimata, that's the pleasure of Allah, that have my pleasure. Gairi magudubi, do not follow the path of those I have rejected. Those are the Jews. The Jews have been rejected by Allah because they did many evils to Islam. They refused to follow their leaders, Sayyidina Musa, Sayyidina Harun, who are Muslims and who are their leaders. Then they killed a number of prophets of Allah. The Jews were those who killed Sayyidina Yahya, whom we shall discuss today. They killed him and they killed many other prophets. They rejected the words of Allah, so Allah rejected them. Gadir Magudubi. Allah said, Wala dolina. Don't follow those who also have lost the way. Those are the Christians. The Christians lost the ways by calling Jesus or Sayyidina Isa God or Son of God. So they lost their way. Therefore, we should not follow their ways. Any person who wants to be successful after death should follow only Islam. Allah says clearly, Inna Dina in Allah Islam. So let us follow Islam alone. So the purpose of birthday, therefore, in Islam is to use the period to ask Allah to offer us soft death, that we shall not feel any pains, and for Allah to be pleased with us on the day of judgment, the day of Qiyamah, the day we raise us all human beings up for judgment. On that day, my dear listeners, only Muslims who obeyed Allah on earth, who have done the right thing on earth, will face the light of Allah and receive their judgment books with their right hands. Those who rejected Allah in this world will have to back the light of Allah and will receive their judgment books with their left hands. So the differences will be clear when we leave this world. Therefore, birthday is very important that Muslims should use it to ask Allah for these two gifts, soft death and soft day of judgment. Now, Allah Azza wa Jalla prayed for one of his prophets, one of his servants, the prophet known as Sayyidina Yahya. Allah prayed for him. And let us listen to that prayer of Allah now for his own prophet. Let us listen to prayer. You see, Allah said, Yahya, a servant of ours, was born respectful, kind to his parents, was not wayward, was not rude. Therefore, Allah said, we shall bless him the day he is born. We shall bless him the day he dies. And shall bless him the day we raise him up again. Allah describes it very clearly to us. So we see that these 3 days are important. When Allah himself is praying for his own creature, his own prophet, Sayyidina Yahya. Sayyidina Yahya is known as John the Baptist by the non-Muslims. So Sayyidina Yahya, Allah said, we shall bless him the day he is born. We shall bless him the day he dies. We shall bless him the day he is raised up again. That is Allah for Sayyidina Yahya. Let us listen to another prophet, Sayyidina Isa. Sayyidina Isa is known as Jesus Christ by the non-Muslims. Sayyidina Isa see, that's Sayyidina Isa speaking to the people of his mother, Maryam. Said, Allah born me respectful, kind to my mother, not rude, not wayward. Therefore, Allah blessed me the day I was born. Allah will bless me the day I shall die. And Allah will bless me the day I'm raised up for judgment. So if Allah Azza wa Jalla, who created the whole universe, and his prophets can take note of the day we are born, the day we die, they will raise us, who are we not to reflect and honor the day of our birth? Therefore, let us follow Allah Azza wa Jalla and use the periods of our birth, the day of our birth, to ask for Allah's kindness when we die, to Allah's kindness when Allah raises all of us up for judgment. If Allah Azza wa Jalla could do this for His own prophets, those of us who are not just human beings, we should beg Allah, appeal to Allah to please give us soft death, because hard death is a difficult one. You all heard recently Alex Ekweme, the former vice president of Shehu Shagari. He was in coma for more than 2 weeks before he finally died. Coma is a health problem that people go through, especially when they're going to die. The problem people face when the angel of death comes to take their lives is worse than that. That's why Allah says, وَنَازِعَتْ غَرِقًا. We shall take his soul of those wicked people, those who refuse Islam, those who refuse the words of Allah. We shall take their souls with hardship, with difficulty. They've been hardship when the soul is being removed. Therefore, Allah who created us is talking to us. Let's listen to Him. 3 days are important days. The 3 days are important days. The day we are born, the day we shall die, the day Allah will raise us up for judgment. Now, my dear listeners, let us listen to Allah's advice on the day of our birth, the day of our death, and Yawm al-Qiyamah. Bismillah. You see, that is verse 13 from Surah Al-Qaf, chapter 46 of the Holy Quran, verse 13. Allah says, those who say Allah is Allah, absolutely Allah, and they stand firm with this belief, when they die, they will die softly, no difficulties. And in their graves, they shall not regret. So this is a promise of Allah. You find it in Surah Al-Qaf, chapter 46 of the Holy Quran, verse 13. Those who hold Allah alone, Qul huwa Allahu ahad, say Allah is one. Be steadfast with it. Allah Samad, Allah alone takes care of the whole creation. He provides for us. We don't provide for ourselves. Whatever we get is what Allah has decreed for us. Whatever people give us is what Allah has decreed for us. So Allah provides for all of us. Therefore, those who say Allah is one and are steadfast with this belief and do good deeds and worship Allah properly, Allah said, when they die, you die very softly. And He shall give them a resting place in their graves. They will rest in their graves. They won't question, they won't be having any problems with the angels of death, angels in the grave. So let us bear this in mind clearly. Then what happens after grave? Now, listen to Allah. You see, after the grave, we shall give them Al-Jannah, where they shall enjoy. Those who fail to get Al-Jannah will go to hellfire. There's no third place. Just as in this world, you have to take Allah or take Shaitan. There's no third one. You follow light or darkness. There's no third choice. You follow Islam or Kufr. There's no third choice. Then after death, you get Al-Jannah, that's paradise, or Jahannam, hellfire. There's no third choice. So you have to take one from this world. Therefore, take the way of Islam. That's why it says, not deen and the Allah of Islam. Islam is the only system that's sent to mankind. So let us follow it. There's no choice. So Allah says, you give us Al-Jannah because of what we have done in this world. That's why all of us listening to our so should try to do the best. Worship Allah properly with your salat. Do good deeds to all human beings. Be kind, be generous. Don't be harsh, don't be difficult. Know that you have to meet Allah one day. That's the day you are bothering about, that Yawm al-Qiyamah. So let us bear all this in mind. So now we want to listen to what happens. You see, Allah tells us to celebrate our birthday. That's why we are going now. Allah tells us to celebrate our birthday. That's why we are going now. In Ayah 15 that we read now. Bismillah. Sadaqallah al-Hadim. That's Allah talking to us in verse 15 of Surah Al-Kahf, chapter 46 of the Holy Quran. Allah says, "Oh, finally, we have commanded mankind to be kind to his two parents. Kind to your father, kind to your mother." Allah says, be kind especially to your mother for three reasons that are stated in that ayah. The first reason is your mother bore you courier, the pregnancy with pain for 8 to 9 months. That's the first reason why you should. Then your mother delivered you in pain, courier. Then your mother brought you up. The way you poop on her, she didn't throw you away, she took care of you and brought you up. These three things done by the mother should be appreciated by every human being. And the appreciation can be expressed on the day of your birth. First to Allah, thank Allah by reading the Quran, by doing prayers, by being kind, then send presents to your father, send presents to your mother. Just be kind. Kind to you, I'm kind. So Allah says, Hatta. Then your mother and your father will be teaching you how to make dua. The dua every day when you make your salat, and then every day of his or her birth, the child's day of her birth. We're doing this hatta until he's 40 years old. He must do it every year till 40 years old. When he's 40 years, he has to do it. If he doesn't do it, he has rejected Allah. You see? Not only that, Allah also kind to quote the prayer you have to make. We put it in a quote for us. So those who say you should not celebrate your birthday have no knowledge. They don't know what they're talking about. Allah say, you pray like this to me. Allah said, put it in a quote. Oh Allah, teach me to know what to do. Guide me on my ways. Be kind to me and my parents. Bless me and my own children. Oh Allah, bless me with my children. And then I ask for you for complete forgiveness of all my sins. And please take my life as a Muslim. That is in the quote, the ayah we just read to us. Allah quoted this for us. Allah created us. He wants us to be successful in this world, and He's quoting the prayers you have to make on the day of our birth. If you are not yet 40, you are lucky. Just be saying it every day of your birth. But when you are 40, willingly or willingly, you have to say it. If you don't say it, you have rejected Allah. Those who reject Allah are the kafirun. And all kafiruns, if they die in that state, will go to hellfire straight. Kafir is a one who rejects the way of Allah, who rejects Islam, who rejects to bow to Allah. So we should know that Allah Azza wa Jalla is very kind to us. That He gave us the prayers we should make on the day of our birth in a quotation in the Holy Quran. So please let us go back to Allah. We have no other being except Allah. To say you don't celebrate birthdays, nothing. What should you do on a bad day? Let's say, what do you do on a bad day? On a bad day, try to read the Quran. Invite some brothers or sisters, read the Quran. Let one or two people who have knowledge be there to teach us some Islam by what short lectures and so on. Then entertain your guests, make some dua for yourself, for your friends, for your parents, for Muslims, and then send some gifts to those who don't have, the blind, the lame, the deformed, all those who need, send to them to express your own kindness to Allah. So your birthday should be celebrated to express your kindness to Allah, to beg Allah to give you soft death, to beg Allah to make your day of judgment soft, so that all of us who are Muslims can be happy on the day of judgment. And Allah Azza wa Jalla can give all of us Muslims Al-Jannah. That's what Allah has promised us. So let us know that clearly, that you have to mark your birthday. You have to mark it properly. Now I want to go to the last verse I want to read, that's verse 16. This one is the greatest promise Allah has made to any human beings in the world. Before we read this ayah 16, Allah says, those who do what I have described in ayah 15 now, we shall cancel all their sins they have committed in the world. Then we shall reward them with the best of their deeds. That's Allah promising us. So what are we doing? Your birthday is an important day. You must remember it. The fact that you escaped the period of birth is a difficult problem for all women. Some children, many children die like that in the wombs. They die until they are born because of the pain and difficulties. But if you escaped it and you are able to listen to me now, Allah saved you your day of your birth. Now you have to pray to Allah for soft death, and then pray to Allah for soft Yawm al-Qiyamah, the day of judgment. So let's listen to ayah 16 now to see the kindness of Allah to all Muslims. Now, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar Kabira. That says, we have made this promise to you in this world. What promise? That those who follow what you are describing in Ayah 15, we shall cancel all their sins. We shall cancel all the sins they committed in this world. We shall give them rewards with the best of their deeds. The best of their deeds in this world, what you shall reward them with. So this to me is the greatest gift, the greatest promise. And Allah said, we have given this promise in this world and we shall keep it. Because Allah is the only being who keeps everything tagged. So, my dear brothers and sisters listening to me, please let us go back to Islam. There's no other way to salvation before Allah except Islam. That's what Allah says, Inna Dina Inda Allah Islam. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.